Welcome everybody to another episode of Gorilla Gospel. We're gonna take a quick spin into Romans, and we're gonna talk about what Paul is talking about here. Some things that I had touched on before that I just got my attention brought to this. Paul says, Paul, a servant of Jesus Christ, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of God. The gospel of God. Okay? Then it goes down here and it says, for God is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of his Son, that without ceasing I make mention of you always in my prayer. The whole chapter 1 Romans speaks about some things. I advise everybody who is sinning to read this and take into their heart and consideration of what's the reason for chapter 1. All right? But 23 says, and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men and to birds and four-footed beasts and creepy things. All right? And he's talking about how we take and make images and call them gods and all that type of stuff. We worship things and stuff like that. All right? But like I'm saying, Paul is talking about some serious topics in chapter 1. And what I'm hitting on this is this. I'm not going to preach about one thing and don't preach about the other. That's not what a real preacher does. A real preacher ain't gonna sit here and criticize somebody for doing something and then give right to another person for doing the same, give right and give wrong to the same thing. And this is where we fall short at as preachers. And this is how we lose our people that follows Jesus Christ and everything. You see these weeds and everything? Everybody hates them. Everybody hates weeds. Okay? They love flowers, but they hate weeds. So they talk bad to the weeds and they talk good to the flowers. And the flowers grow up to be beautiful, smell good, and look pretty and everything. You know? And the weeds, they look bad and all that type of stuff, you know? Now, when it comes to the human flesh, when it comes to the soul, the spirit, when it comes to the gospel, we tend to talk bad about some things, some people that's trying to grow amongst weeds. Let's say the ghetto, for instance. People talk so bad about the ghetto, but just don't know that just like these weeds, so is the ghetto. So is everything. You know, we have to grow. And some of us ain't gonna be as pretty as the other. But you get one group of people uh, good talking about decency and stuff, they decent people or whatever. And then you give the other person talk saying that they're not decent people and everything. Uh, I dedicate this to Robert Kennedy. Uh, right after his brother got shot in front of his kids, this man went out and done his thing. And this is what I love about learning about good people. Because without knowing the courageousness in people like that, like Jesus and Martin Luther King and everything like that, you know, I would be a straight up sniveling coward if I wouldn't die for what I believe in. Because if I believed in wearing this red bandana and would die for it, what's the purpose for the people, for the kids, of doing that when I was out there in that life? I ran with a gang before. It wasn't as severe and hardcore as some, but it was more of a money thing with me. Cause in New Orleans it was about wars, but I still represented it, and that was the era I was in at the time. You dig? And I ran with it, but I was so open to die for that cause, and I was so brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? But we talk good about this flower and this flower, and we talk bad to the other flower. And one flower ain't gonna grow right. Let's put that as the flesh. And forgive yourselves if you've done this before. Forgive yourselves and forgive people who done it to you before. But if you're if you got two kids and you talk bad about one, let's say one they got different daddies maybe, or one just can't keep up like the other one can, and you talk so bad about it, you ain't gonna be crap, you such and such, you so stupid and all this other stuff, and you talk nice, oh you so nice and all that, you so cute, you always do right, and you smart and everything, but him, your brother, he stink and all this other crap. And the kid probably gonna grow up a weed, never loved, hurt, ugly, inside and out. And we do this. We do this to ourselves. We do this to our children. We allow people to do it to us. And it's okay. This is what happens when weeds tends to grow. Okay? They grow everywhere. In your jobs, in your churches, in your heart, in your relationships, with your family, you know, your friends, money, pain, sickness, all that. But back to chapter 1 of Paul. If you read chapter 1 of Paul, a lot of people will hate God. A lot of people will hate Paul. A lot of people will hate Jesus. Probably spit right on the Bible. And it's all because we are cursed to have weeds in our life. We cursed to go through some things in our life that turns us into weeds. And the manicure is, I have to come and cut this out and make it look beautiful. And it's when I decide that I don't want to see this no more, that I take this out. If I can live with this and still follow God, then that's a different story. And some of us are managing to live with our weeds. Whether we gay or drug dealers or gangbangers